So this video is going to be shorter, and the reason it'll be shorter is because I'm sort of trying to recalibrate things right now and figure out what's the most effective thing to do. If I'm going to record videos, I'm going to take the time to record them and to edit them and to make sure my research is good, then I want to make sure it's having an impact and that it does something good. So while I'm recalculating and reformatting how this works and what this looks like, I didn't want to leave anyone hanging. And I know there's a lot going on, and I will get to some of that next week, but I really think that it's important that I sort of tell you who I am and what I stand for. And I want to do this because if you're going to listen to me about something, you should know who I am. And this video will probably end up pinned on my channel because I think it's going to be important. So I haven't said it before, but I will say it now, and it does apply to everything I say on here. What I'm saying is my opinion. I bring facts to the points I bring up, but my views are my own. The facts stand for themselves, but my views are my own. Who am I? Well, not going to say my name, but I am a research and development scientist. I work in food safety testing and microbiological food safety testing. I've done that now since about 2016. I had done it for a couple of years prior to 2016, but then I went back to graduate school and got my graduate degree. I have degrees in cell and molecular biology. And so I've, all in all, been doing food safety work for close to a decade at this point. In terms of bench work and research work, I started doing research. I was fortunate, and my first semester of freshman year, my professor in my intro biology class, or intro biomedical sciences class, had just moved to the university, and he had openings in his lab. I asked if I could join, and I was able to, which anyone in science will tell you is a really, really rare opportunity to do something so early in your college career. Stayed with him for the full term of my undergrad, working in research on DNA repair in a protist called Tetrahymena thermophila, and then went to work when I got my bachelor's degree in food safety. It was what was near where I got my degree, and so it was a job while I figured out what to do moving forward. After having done that for a little bit, decided I want to go back to graduate school, and so I did. Once I went to graduate school, I worked with that same professor on my graduate degree. Same topic of research, different genes of interest, but DNA repair. And then went back to food safety testing. I've been doing that, like I said, for about 10 years cumulatively. For fun. I like to play D&D or other tabletop games with friends. I've been an avid poker player, although I now live far enough away from anyone I would play poker with that I don't really get a chance to do that. And love to play a good video game, love to read a good book, love to watch a good TV show. Some of my favorite TV shows we're talking about. Huge fan of Scrubs. The Magicians, if you've ever seen it, is great. Burn Notice. Also a big fan of Leverage. If you've never seen Leverage, I encourage you to. It's phenomenal. I am also married. I've been with my wife since junior year of high school, so about 17 years now. And yeah, that's me. Now, what I stand for, what I believe in, my values. I truly believe that it is in all of our best interests as humanity to work together to build a better future for everyone. I believe that's the way it should be. And I believe even if you are being selfish about it, tackling things like homelessness and poverty and food insecurity and crime and drug abuse, even if you are being selfish, these things make society better, which makes society better for yourself. I think everyone should have not just access to healthcare, but the ability to get it without going bankrupt. I think school, from pre-K through college, should be free or very low cost. Because an educated populace is a better populace. It's a populace that can better challenge a changing world and adapt to it. It's a group that can bring your country, your state, your city, your county, it can bring these things forward into the future, and it can do it in such a way that makes everybody better, and society as a whole benefits from that. I believe that we should treat people with human dignity, and I believe that being a good person means treating people the way we believe we should be treated. And all of this is integral to the reason that I've always voted left. I've always voted for the Democrat on the ticket, and I have participated in primaries, and I have done all of that because I believe that is the right way to operate a country, with compassion, with the ability to lift people up who do not have the same advantages you do, the ability to bring everybody up, because a rising tide does lift all boats, and we should want that tide to rise. I believe that the concentration of wealth in this country is a problem, that it is at historic levels, and that is a problem in society, that when you see so much generational strife and you see so much societal strife because of that wealth disparity, because you see people who have more than people could ever spend in multiple lifetimes, and then you see people homeless on the streets. Yes, people make bad choices, but that doesn't mean we can't fix the things, the underlying issues that make those bad choices palatable to those people. I believe that we should fund science, because all of the challenges that we will face moving forward can only be solved by effort that gets put in, and that's not going to be profitable. There's a reason the government funds those things, and it's so important that we continue to. I believe that people should be allowed to speak their mind, so long as they're not trying to harm someone else. And I think that we should work towards solving the world's problems in a way that includes the entire world, that we shouldn't isolate ourselves, that we should seek to raise up people throughout the world who are in bad positions, because every dollar we spend there provides goodwill in a way that isn't done in any other way. And it's so important that we do that. In short, I believe in being a good person. I believe that there's more to my own well-being than just what directly affects me. The reason that I do this, the reason I make these videos, is because I think it's important that we speak up for the things we believe in. I think it's important that when you have a voice, you use it to advocate for causes and to point out injustices and iniquities where you see them. I think that it's so important for us to do that, because our voice is the last tool we have. It's also the first tool we have. And speaking truth in the face of things that are at times scary is courage. And it's courage that we all need to have, because fear is pervasive, and fear is a thing that will silence you, but you can't be silent. And I would be a hypocrite to ask other people to also speak up if I'm not willing to do that same thing. So that's me. Like I said, I'm going to try and figure out what this channel does moving forward. I'm going to try to figure out what I do moving forward, because I think it's important that if I'm putting in all this effort, it's reaching people and it's getting out there. And so that's what I'm going to do. Like I said, there's a lot going on that is scary and that is in need of being discussed. And we will pick that up next week. But until then, take care of yourselves and take care of others. Thanks.